Alright, guys, so today we're reviewing The 8 Show. It's this new series on Netflix where 8 participants compete in a tempting but dangerous show where they earn money as time passes. So I just finished this last night, so it's still pretty fresh in my mind, so I decided, fuck it, I'll do a review for it. So yeah, let's get into it. I will be getting into some spoilers, so please click off if you haven't watched the show and then come back once you've watched it. So yeah, let's get into it. So as I said, 8 people compete in a game show where they earn money as time passes. If they want to buy anything, they'll have to pay 100 times the price for what that would be normally. So for example, if you want a bed, you have to pay it for 100 times more than what it would usually cost. So that kind of creates an interesting dynamic where they have to try and be smart with how they spend their money and save it, obviously, as they want to become richer once they get out. So yeah, the show's pretty good. It's got some nice social commentary about social inequality and, you know, how the higher ups kind of shit on the lower downs and stuff like that. And the way they do this is they have each player choose a card before they enter the show as to which room and which floor they're on. And then without them knowing, it turns out that depending on which floor you're on, you actually earn a certain amount of money. So for example, the first floor earns 10,000 won, whereas the 8th floor, the highest floor, earns 340,000 won per minute. So yeah, that creates an interesting dynamic, and I think they did that pretty well. Other strengths, and the mystery of it all is pretty interesting. It kind of keeps you hooked until the very end, trying to figure out what's really going on behind the scenes. The kind of tension building is very good as well. You're not sure what's going to happen. You think someone's going to die, or they're all going to die, or you know what I mean. You don't know what's going to go down. Which makes it for a very exciting show. Gripes. Let's go. Weaknesses now. It's kind of tonally, it's a bit weird. Like, it has some certain scenes, like for example the scene where they tase each other and they all piss themselves once they get tased. I think that's trying to be comedic and it's, you know, trying to make you laugh, but as the show progresses it kind of turns into something else. It's more of a horrifying kind of horrifying actions, like. So it's a bit weird with the way the tone shifts. It's kind of polar opposite tones. So I think that's probably one of the weaknesses. Another weakness is probably the character building early on. I'm not sure if they really flesh out these characters that well, especially in the early episodes. You know, you kind of don't really become as attached to them. I mean, other than the main character, I think you do become attached to him, but I wasn't really attached to any other characters really, to be honest. Alright, so the big question is, does this show live in Squid Game's shadow? I'd say no. I'd say it has enough unique differences and it's kind of creative in its own way. Yeah, and like I said before, it doesn't go with the death game tropes, the easy tropes that I could have went with. It decided to do something different and be tense in its own way. Yeah, so what else could I say about this? Will there be a season 2? They kind of hinted at season 2 because at the end, the 7th floor character writes, I think, a screenplay about the show that he participated in and gives it to his boss or whatever. And he's very excited by it, and he's like, yeah, this is very good. Will there be a season 2? So I think that's kind of the way of hinting at the audience, like, that they're going to make a season 2. So I would watch a season 2 and I'd like to see one. I'm not sure where they would go with it, but I'm sure they would manage to make it interesting and as exciting as the first season. So yeah, what else could I say? Okay, another kind of gripe that I have with it, well, it's not really a gripe, but is that we never actually find out who the masterminds are behind the game. Now, in Squid Game, for example, we find out who the mastermind is. We see the front man. We see the VIPs as well. So we kind of have someone that we can direct our anger towards. Whereas in the 8 show, we don't really have anyone to direct our anger towards, other than the contestants. Like, there is contestants, for example, 6th and 8th floor are probably the worst kind of morally corrupted characters. So they're the kind of ones we direct our anger towards, which is fair enough. But I kind of wish that we got a big villain in the end. But maybe they could go there with season 2. I guess they could try and use a second season to have that big reveal and give us the villain that we kind of want. So we have someone to hate, really. Yeah, and I think that's it for my review. So thanks for watching. New video tomorrow, new video the day after, every fucking day, man. Got a new video. So thanks, bye. I just finished the video and I realized I never gave a rating on the show, so I'm going to go with a 7 out of 10. Alright, bye.